What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video where I will be doing a review of a lot of the practice that I have been doing since the last practice review, of course. But today I also want to talk a little bit about one of the things that I've been noticing. I watch a lot of art videos, and one of the things that continuously keeps on coming up over and over again is something that separates beginning artists from intermediate and advanced artists. And that thing is really slowing down. Slowing down, planning your drawings, taking the time to execute it well. And today again, I was watching one of Steven Bauman's videos, and he brought it up yet again that a lot of people are rushing through the process. And he kind of explained this a little bit by thinking of, and I'm going to pull out a pencil here and draw on the back of this, because these are just practice sheets anyway. He kind of explained this as if this is the start point of where your drawing is beginning and this is where you want to get it to go. The fastest way to get there, of course, is straight line. And so this is why a lot of times when you're watching professionals, and I'm really talking to myself here, or if you're a beginner artist listening up, talking to you as well, just out of my experience and something that I am personally going to try for the next review. When you look at professional artists like Steven Bauman showing his sketch of his portrait, you can tell he's moving slowly, but yet the portrait develops so quickly, and it's because he's taking the shortest route. He's still being very methodical, very thinking through every move he's making. And as beginner artists, we don't know the straight path as yet. We kind of deviate off, and maybe we get back on and it's going well for a while and we backtrack a little bit. And all of this deviation is what really causes us to take so much time. And especially for me, the temptation is I want to finish the drawing in one day. That is, I'm going to be honest, that's my real temptation. I want to start something and I want to finish it today. I don't want to be spending days on it. And I think I need to slow down a bit. Take it easy. Really plan out the drawing, make sure that I'm executing it well. Don't try to skip through stages. And so while I'm going through my review of my practice sheets today, I'm going to be taking that into consideration a little bit. And for my next review, so from this point forward, I'm going to try to do the drawings for this next period, just taking my time, planning out, measuring, making sure I'm being as accurate as possible, probably even setting out goals for what the drawing is going to accomplish, and then trying to make sure that I stick to accomplishing those goals. So I'm going to see how that works out for my next review. I will be giving updates on how that turned out, but I'm going to jump into all these practice sheets here because there are quite a bit and we want to get through them. I have it turned face down. There's a reason. Because I actually haven't looked at these in a while. If you notice, there's quite a stack of practice sheets here. And I want to have my reaction be genuine as I look at them, and I haven't looked at them in a while. So let's dive in to these practice sheets. This first one, if you watch my last video, I did a David Finch method for drawing female hips. These were some additional practices that I did afterwards. I think they came out pretty good. I did use reference, and I basically tried to use his method to capture the essence of the reference. And yeah, I think it was okay. Alright, so this is from the Proko course. Again, I am also doing the Proko portrait course right now. So this was the lip section. these were lips that I did based on the final lip section. I think they came out pretty good. Spent a little bit more time on those, but again, that temptation, I want to finish it in one day. So you're gonna be, I put the dates on all of my sheets, so you're gonna be able to see like how much time I'm actually putting into some of these drawings. And really, that temptation that I've noticed within myself is to get it done in that day. Again, notice the one day here. This I took from another, I think, Finch video where he was just showing some legs studies, and from another life drawing book that I have showing like the planes of the feet. Yeah, and some doodles on the side there. If you've ever seen Mickey Mega's channel, he has a lot of demos with anime characters and the like. I tried one of them, and so that was just an interesting test. This was again just random David Finch doing some more work on that. This was just doing a quick head lay-in sketch from, again, doing the portrait course. Put some notes at the bottom here. I need to do more lay-ins. Need to compare points. And looking back at this again, this is going back to that whole thing of just slowing down. Did well on the big line angles first, then I need to also not just do the big angles, but be just as careful with the smaller ones as well. This, yeah, it keeps on coming back up, and I know it's something I need to work on, and this time around, I'm just gonna get it done in this next session. Just gonna slow down. All right, random practice here. Practicing my ellipses, boxes, turning them, primitive shapes. Yeah. Again, this is gonna be like a common theme that I'm gonna continuously bring up. This idea of having this feeling like you're progressing, and then feeling like you're not progressing again. And so this didn't quite turn out as I wanted to. I went into some structure studies. I actually like the motion captured on this one here. That came out really nice. And doing some additional gesture studies. I'm gonna keep on gestures as well because I think I really need to work on it. Alright, here's another one. I made a note here that I felt demotivated this day. I mean, it says feeling down, but just draw. Drew, the time passed, not a bad result, and my conclusion here was, guys, just draw, just push through it, and just do it anyway. Look, real hands with fingers, and head with some help. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna start doing that as well, making more notes. This was kind of warm up from, I'm also doing, probably eventually I'll stop doing too many courses at once, even though specifically Drawbox wants you to do their course in addition to something else that you're doing that you enjoy. And so that's how I ended up with 2 courses. This was just some random warm-ups from the Drawbox stuff that I have to do. These turned out pretty good. Again, I kind of quick sketched these in from some more dynamic things that I wanted to practice. I actually like how the hands turned out on this one. I made the effort to, I should say this as well, because when you're drawing, you tend to have problem spots that you know exist, and the tendency that I found in myself and something that I'm working on, why I actually have real hands here and real feet, is that the tendency is to run away from your problem areas instead of actually just attacking them. And so one of the things that I have been trying throughout this session is to just attack the problem areas. Don't leave them out. Just give it a shot. And because it's by practice, that's how we improve. This specific picture did not have the hands in the picture, and so, well, I can draw them. I'm also going to say there are a few drawings in this one I do actually like. This was, again, another layout practice, and then I overlaid the image again, marking the things that worked, things that didn't work, where the eyes should have been versus where they are. All of these should have been pushed down, but some things were correct. I gave myself check marks for those, but there's just need for more practice. Oh my goodness. This was just both of these were just from imagination, just total random. Oh my goodness. Let's move on. Yeah, let's talk about this one. This again, one of the things I noticed was how some of the figure drawings that I have been seeing around the place, how they look, how they tend to lay down lines with more energy. I really tried to capture everything in this one. This is one of those that I think turned out really well. I still only spent one day on it, but I spent a little bit more time than I normally have been doing in the early stages of just setting it up, not getting into putting down dark marks too quickly. And I also used, another thing that I'm going to have to be doing is simplifying. Between that and slowing down are two of the things that I really need to focus on. I tried both of them here, and I need to do more of it. Slowing down and simple shapes, not getting too caught up in all of the different grooves I see. But this one, I really liked how it turned out, and yeah, I felt good about that one. So I'm interested to see what happens when I take my time even more. Is it just a matter of slowing down, or is it sometimes you get lucky and you get a lucky break, or is it really going to show up? I'm going to see. I'll see. You all will see as well in my next review video. Some more practice exercises here at primitive shapes. And after the success on that last drawing, I jumped into some more studies where doing very simple shapes, making sure things lined up first, but still going through things fairly quickly, and used the what's the little paper thing called that you smudge things with. Use that quite a bit to smooth out the values on this. This was the first, second, and then I said, hey, let's try another one. And again, I think these turned out pretty good. So I must say I am seeing some improvement. For those who don't know, I started at the beginning of this year. So it's September now. This is about 8 months in. And yeah, I think some of them are turning out pretty cool in addition to this one. So this was another one. Again, going into the faces, which I still have challenges with, which is why I'm doing the Proko portrait drawing course to help me with faces. So I took a stab at the face, I threw in hands, feet, toes even. Just go for it, man. Just go for it and see how it turns out. This one was pretty cool. Making sure I draw through the figure, so if you see some lines going through the body, that's kind of the sword, even though it still looks slightly bent. But this one, I think, turned out pretty good. So hey, seeing some improvement, people. So hang in there with me if you want to encourage me. As I always say, hit the like button, subscribe, follow me. Let's see what's possible. Let's see how long it takes. Yeah. Air drawings. These were nice studies as well. Again, from the Proko course that I'm doing. I need to simplify the planes a little bit more to help with the shadowing. For the critique on these, the thing that they critiqued on this one was just this portion of the ears should be wider and not that skinny as my planes show there, but otherwise they kind of liked how it turned out, and so do I. Again, a lot of interesting stuff in this lit stack of review here. Really interesting. So here we go. If you know Bridgman, you definitely know that these look Bridgman. I mean, okay, maybe that may be a little, you know, getting a little bit beside myself here saying that these look like Bridgman. But what happened, I was listening to a Draftsman podcast with Marshall talking about Bridgman and all this type of stuff, and I was just like, you know what, some of those photos they're showing look pretty cool. I want to try them too. And so I pulled them up and gave it a try. It was kind of loose, quick, but actually they kind of turned out pretty cool. Actually, this wasn't Draftsman. This was Lightbox, when Marshall, Cynics, Steven, Ahmed, and James, Modern Day James. So it was from actually that session. And while listening to that, I just drew these out. And looking back at them now, they actually look pretty cool and pretty lively, actually. I mean, like, look at the, it's a lot of movement in those. I really like those, so that might be something I need to revisit. Again, just practice here, random household stuff. Just trying to incorporate some of the things that I've been learning from Drawbox in random studies. This is kind of random practice as well. Drawbox, some structure things, and basically I was just doing really quick things here. Which I think at some point during this review session, I kind of got too much into going fast, and I think I made a note somewhere that said, hey, slow down. Slow down. This is a tree outside my house. I went outside and decided to try drawing something from life. So yeah, it's a oak tree in the backyard, and gave it a shot. Thinks it looks okay. Okay, this was back to the figure drawing book that I have. These were some structure exercises. On this one, I really tried to keep the lines super clean. So basically using some of the principles from Drawbox on this one, where I just making those confident lines and leaving it as it is. And so that's what you have here from those drawings. Super clean lines, put down once and done. And so I think those turned out well. In terms of understanding from that one, I don't know. These were some more random drawings, some more random pulls from Bridgman at the bottom. I mean, better than some of the early stuff, I'll say that for sure. This is more work on just structure, random warm-ups. This is actually from learning how to draw the Marvel way. I have that book now. And yep, tried a 1-point perspective and a 2-point, still a 1-point perspective. Getting a little thrown off by the phone ringing in the background. Pay no attention to that. I'm doing all of these videos in one shot, so I'm not going to edit this. I'm just going through because, again, my focus here is on the practice. At some point, I mean, I think I've gotten incrementally better on the videos, but my real focus is on practicing and seeing if I can really learn how to draw really good. So, well, the video's phone stopped ringing now and I'm still talking about it. 1 point perspectives really started making sense. I tell you, it's one thing to see it in a book and understand it intellectually, but it's another thing to actually do it. This was from Modern Day James channel, where he's talking about folds, and so I tried quite a few of them and did some random ones on my own. Again, just enforcing this, hey, you see a video, it looks simple. No, you have to actually do it. You have to do it. You have to do it. That's where the learning is. This was me trying some Bridgman type stuff, probably, it looks like, in terms of the hatching, but this was probably from a regular model. Throwing the feet. Sometimes I still run away from stuff. I need to put in the hands. This was a random doodle on perspective, and I threw an arrow in there. So I know it's not lined up, but I was just sitting down, random doodle one day. This is from the Here course, Here portion of the Proko portrait drawing course. I think this turned out really well, actually, except this bottom one. And what threw me off doing this was just from the lesson itself, and again, my focus on actually practicing what I am seeing in the lesson. I went ahead and was following, but you have to plan the texture before you put in all the shading, and I was following the photos that he was showing and drew the photo out, and then when he threw in the texture, it was totally different, and I tried to come over the top with the texture, but that doesn't work. You have to plan it out, which in this one, I totally planned it out before, because once you get dark, it's hard to come back, but I still really liked how those turned out overall. This was another one from the drawing tutorial for here. I think it turned out okay. Kept the values kind of light on that one. This is 2-point perspective from How to Draw the Marvel Way. Again, more learning. Like, every time I think I understand it, and when I do it, it even makes more sense than when I just thought that I understood it. Some of these lines are a little bit off, but that's fine. It just looks like the building is shaped. It's an architectural design. There you go. It's not a mistake. It's architectural design. More warm-up studies of some of the things that you've seen me doing. Some organic shapes. And this one was another Proko demonstration for here. This was varying degrees of success. I wasn't really happy with how it turned out. Getting some eraser in, or needed eraser to do some of the highlights. I think I'm gonna need more practice on that. More practice. More gesture successes and failures. And again, it's gonna be a constant thing. That, again, going back to that idea of trying to get from point A to point B, but going everywhere. This is true for progress as well. Not just for each individual drawing, but progress on a whole is what I'm finding. That straight line, the faster you progress is the less you deviate from that line, but there's still gonna be a lot of deviation. Like, sometimes you're on a roll and then take a few steps backwards and forwards and backwards. Hopefully, the idea is that hopefully you're taking more steps forwards than backwards, right? And so eventually you'll get there. Some persons will take longer than others. Here it is. I think I was kind of getting carried away with how good some of the things were turning out and started rushing ahead a bit. And at this point, I caught myself, I think, on likely this specific drawing. And I'm just like, reminder, slow down. Ooh, it's tough. It's tough. If you're a beginner, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You know certain things, but you just start reverting to, hey, I think I got this now. Let me blaze a trail here. And then reality kind of smacks you upside the head. Back to more primitive shapes. This one was kind of imagination, just random warm-ups. We'll soon be done, everyone. I know there's a lot of sheets here, but this is really just how much work I'm putting in. Again, this isn't full-time. I'm doing it as a hobby, but probably a little bit more serious than some amateurs who are taking up drawing as a hobby. And so trying to put in the work, and so appreciate you guys sticking with me, guys and girls. I don't know, I just have this habit of saying guys and girls. Really appreciate all of you. This is another page where it wasn't quite working out. Have to slow down. So this is also from Proko's course. He has a skull application on there where you can rotate it at different angles. And so starting to practice the skull as well, trying to focus more on planes in terms of shading, trying to get that going. So you're probably going to see a lot of skulls in my next review as well. Yeah, there'll probably be a lot more skulls. And this is a part of dodging the teeth. You know, you don't want to deal with the teeth because they take time. Slow down. I'll get this, guys. I'll get this. Guys and girls. Oh, man. This is one working on this core shadow that is always used by the professionals when they're just doing their lay-in. Still need more practice. Everything is more practice, I think. Here is another skull laid out. There are some things that I like about this, like how the shadow on the eyes look, how some of the planes are turned. Here I really tried to focus on how the planes were turning and trying to also not go too quickly into the dark accents. I think it turned out okay, but again, you'll be seeing more skulls. I don't think there are any more skulls in this set, but you'll definitely be seeing more skulls, that's for sure. This was a prep for the Drawbox course. I am actually finished lesson 3, so my next review for Drawbox, that lesson is already complete, and I need to do the video for that and review those drawings, so you'll be seeing that soon. This is from lesson 4, where we're jumping into insects and stuff like that, and he did an introductory video, and again, I need to actually do the examples from the videos even though they're not a part of the assignment, and so I just did these 2 which are from the video, and then I just did these other random 2 just from my head, just doing random insect-like shapes. This was a spider. This was supposed to be a mosquito that doesn't have any wings, but I just threw it out there just to see what it would look like, and yeah, I kind of like that page. Actually, it looks pretty cool. Here we have more layout practice. This is from Proko. More structure practice. And more structure practice. These were supposed to be the same poses. Probably a little bit of frustration about not getting the pose. And you hear me use words like frustration, but actually I'm really enjoying the drawing practice. And sometimes I actually giggle at myself when I catch myself getting frustrated. It's a totally different mind shift from some of my earlier days when I was really getting frustrated and really talked about how one of the reviewers, what they said. This was way back in the earlier days for those who have been around that long. Helped me talk through that. It's been so good ever since. This was one of my more recent lay-ins. Spent a little bit more time on this one, but we'll be trying to slow down a little bit more in the beginning phase. As everyone always points out, the tendency is to try to rush through the beginning, which is actually your foundation, and then you find that your drawing crumbles later on. Spending that time slowing down in the beginning. This was a 3-point perspective so when I'm copying these 3-point perspectives out of the How to Draw the Marvel Way, I'm not actually copying them directly. The perspective points are kind of copied a little bit, and then I start throwing in my own buildings based on what I want to see there. And so yeah, I think I really like the perspective work again. So that has been cool. And finally, wow, if you've stuck along with me this long, probably didn't say that right. Thanks a lot. This was the last page. These gestures, I kind of threw caution to the wind, and they do seem to have a little bit more energy and just going for it. So I think for the next review, as I said before, I'm going to be noting what my objective is going to be ahead of the drawing. The majority of them, I think, will be focus on slowing down in the beginning stages, setting a good foundation for the drawing before continuing on. So I may end up with less to review next time, just because I'm not going to be overly concerned with getting all of the drawings finished in one sitting for that page. I'm just going to be seeing if what I'm hearing over and over again actually works. So it's good to listen to all these art videos and art professionals, but realize at the same time that you're not an art professional. And if you're going to be a beginner, and if you're going to listen to them, you should probably take their advice. And so that's what I'm going to try to do. You'll see it in the next practice review sheet session. Until then, if you've gotten this far, again, thank you so much, ladies, gentlemen, for sticking with me. And if you want to encourage me on this journey, as I find out if I can really learn how to draw really well, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, encourage me. Let me know where you are in your art journey as well. Are you a beginner? Are you intermediate? Are you a professional? Let me know in the comments. Like to chat and talk and meet with you. So until next time, the next video will be the Drawbox Lessons 3 review of the work I did there. Until next time, peace everyone, thanks.